Hiring and training new employees is expensive. Losing a trained employee because they didn't have what you needed or didn't fit in the group is also expensive. If you could always find the right people, you could lower costs significantly, get higher productivity from your entire staff, and grow your business using the best, most reliable, most highly skilled people. That, in a perfect nutshell, is exactly what Seek Recruiting LLC can do for your business. That's SEEC. That's because Seek Recruiting is talented professionals and careers connected. When you need skilled experts, Seek Recruiting LLC has them ready to go. Call 888-991-5833 to contact one of their highly skilled reps today. That's 888-991-5833 to contact one of their highly skilled reps today. Seek Recruiting LLC, talented professionals and careers connected. Doug Stewart here to tell you about my man Smooth at smoothtickets.com. Smooth's got the tickets for everything that you need in the world of sports, concerts, or theater. I don't care what it is. I don't care where it's at in this great land of ours. My man Smooth at smoothtickets.com, he got them tickets. I'm telling you, boxing, baseball, NBA, NFL, country music concerts, hard rock, hip-hop, theater, Broadway, he's got them all. And if he don't have them, there ain't none. I'm telling you. Smoothtickets.com. Once again, that's smoothtickets.com, or give him a call at 404-374-1150. Once again, that's 404-374-1150. You gotta tell him, though, that I sent you. You gotta tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Once again, smoothtickets.com. That's smoothtickets.com. Yeah! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, trillest sports and guy talk show in America. Woman Wednesday. Hey, welcome back. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This is a Woman Wednesday. I'm talking about Colin Kaepernick and some of the stories, some of the commentary from people around the world of sports concerning Colin Kaepernick's protest that he started a couple of weeks ago. And so talked a little bit about what he had to say to Trent Dilfer in response to Trent Dilfer. Also yesterday, man, I came across a story on social media where Dabo Swinney was asked about Colin Kaepernick, and basically the reporter asked him, you know, if one of your players were to do that, what would you do? And he gave you know, his thoughts. He said that he wouldn't, you know, suspend anybody per se, because he does feel like that you have the right to protest in this country. But then Dabo kind of veered off a little bit. I want you to listen to this clip, and then we're going to talk about it. This is Dabo Swinney and talking about Colin Kaepernick's stance. All right, check this out.
I think one of the greatest leaders this world has ever seen was Martin Luther King. I don't know that there's ever been a better man or better leader. And, you know, to me, he changed the world. He changed the world through love in the face of hate. He changed the world through peace in the face of violence. He changed the world through education in the face of ignorance. And he changed the world through Jesus. And boy, that's politically incorrect.
Yeah, that's Dabo Swinney right there. And when I first saw this story last night, the first thing that I thought about is when I heard that clip is what Dabo's saying is absolutely correct. And I remember in looking at that story last night, a lot of people were commenting about, you know, how great Dabo is, and he's a fantastic person. He has a heart of gold, and, you know, he mentioned something about Jesus. I mean, it's hard to go against Jesus, right? But the thing about that clip that I just played is, and all of the things that Dabo Swinney listed about Martin Luther King, he conveniently excluded the fact that Martin Luther King protested for change. He conveniently, left that out of his little soliloquy about, how great of a person Martin Luther King was and, Jesus and all of that, which is great, once again. But he conveniently left out the fact that Martin Luther King created a lot of change and helped invoke a lot of change in this country because of protests. To the point where he was on several marches, spoke out frequently about social injustice in this country, obviously in the 60s, went to jail many, many times for protesting. So once again, it goes back to the point I was making earlier, that a lot of people, they're okay, I guess, at the end of the day, they're okay if you protest, but don't protest, on their time. If you're protesting, it makes... we don't really like that feeling when y'all protest. So could you please protest like over there in the corner or behind closed doors, which is dumb as hell. That defeats the total purpose of a protest. Right. From my man Cornelius Small in chat room. He conveniently forgot that they killed King despite all of that. Yeah, exactly. Okay? So once again, I think Dabble is a good person fundamentally. And once again, a lot of the stuff that he said in that was true, okay? Not saying that he's a bad person or anything like that. I'm not saying that he's a cop and he'll go out there and kill a ninja in the street in cold blood. I'm not saying that at all. But he did conveniently forget that part of the whole equation. And he did also kind of neglect the fact that, or talk about the fact on why Colin Kaepernick is protesting and why other people are joining in with this protest. Go back and listen to it and you'll hear exactly what I'm talking about. The entire talk about Martin Luther King, like you could tell he was very guarded and very selective in what the next thing he was about to say about Martin Luther King. And he just railed the part that I guess we maybe should have played it before we played that clip. But before that, he just went on and on about how, it's disruptive to the team and you should, he feels like that you should stand for the national anthem and it's disruptive this and it's disruptive this. And he feels like he should be able to, do or protest in a different way, not that way, but just some other different way. And all of this, protest, you can protest this way or that way, but don't protest that way. And then when he gave his example about somebody that was good, he forgot to put in the word protest. What are your thoughts about that? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Let me read some of your messages here in the chat room on Spreaker.com on this Woman Wednesday. Thorny Switch in the chat room on Spreaker.com. She kind of echoes my man Cornelius Small's post that I read a little bit earlier. And because of his protest, he was shot dead like an animal. Exactly. Yeah, very conveniently, Dabble left a lot of that out of the conversation. From that ninja in the chat room on Spreaker.com, he says, they meaning colonizers have always done this. You really should research the information they gave you if it's all been slanted and edited the same way they have always edited Dr. King's speeches and thoughts. Yeah, when, who was it? Oh, when Muhammad Ali died a couple of months ago, doing research and pulling audio clips to play on the show because, Muhammad Ali got a ton of audio clips out there and protesting the government and the way it seems like systematically in this country people are treated are wrong, people of color. I came across a couple of videos and audio clips of Martin Luther King. And T's right. That ninja's right in the chat room on Spreaker.com. A lot of the stuff that you see secondhand on TV, that whenever MLK Day comes around or February rolls around once a year, they always play a lot of, perky, nice, cute, things as far as Martin Luther King, as far as some of his speeches back in the day. But, man, you look not even hard. You go on YouTube and you look for Martin Luther King, and some of the speeches and some of the commentary he had, man, King was hardcore. But we rarely see that. I'm telling you, we rarely see those videos. We always see the watered down, the nice, kind of like the Seattle Seahawks videos, where they're not, Kings, he's talking about it, but he's not really going in, okay? Kind of like the sanitized stuff, all right? But there's some stuff out there, Martin Luther King, where he goes ham, you know? He goes all Colin Kaepernick on that ass. But you rarely see that stuff. Let me read more of your messages here in the chat room on Spreaker.com from Sluggo. Reasonable people trying to convince unreasonable people of anything is daunting to say the least. These folks are willfully ignorant regarding our issues. That's something I've talked about a lot, man. I've learned over 15, 16 years of doing this. It's amazing how something is so clear-cut, like this Donald Trump thing, okay? This Donald Trump thing is clear and cut. He's insane. He's a racist. He doesn't know the issues. He has no political background. How can he even be taken seriously for the president of the United States of America? Yet the polls said him and Hillary, who's been in politics and knows the issues like the back of her hands, has held high, political posts in her life, her entire life. They're neck and neck right now. Like a reasonable person would say, how could that be? But I'm telling you, man, something that's clear, cut, and dry, that I've talked about for many, many years on whatever issue it may be, you'd be surprised how many emails and hate mail that I get saying that I'm totally wrong and, you're a racist, this, that, and the other. No, there's nothing racist about this conversation. The only thing racist, seemingly, is the police that kill these people in the street dead. That's the racist part. But people coming together to protest because of a systematic system where daily injustices occur by the people paid to protect us is somehow wrong. It's crazy. But you best believe, and I say this once or twice a week, man, people see, as crazy as it sounds, people see and hear what they want. You can say blue, but 5 seconds later, somebody will say you said red. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've been a victim to it for the last 15 years. I'm telling you. And, hey, man, squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's all I know. I'm from the country, and I've heard that since I was 6 years old. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. We just can't be quiet, man. You can't be quiet after what happened to Eric Garner, and you saw it on videotape. You can't be quiet when you watch the police put 8 slugs in the back of Walter Scott in Charleston, South Carolina. You just can't. You just can't. We shouldn't. We absolutely shouldn't, man. We shouldn't. More on this conversation when we get back. Very interesting article. Howard Bryant on ESPN.com in response to Adam Jones's, the outfielder for the Baltimore Orioles, on Adam Jones's statement that baseball is a white sport, so you won't see any protests. Howard Bryant, who is a real tight brother, man, writer, he wrote a column about it. We'll get into it when we get back as well. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show.
The Sleeper Pick, the guy only you believe in. In 1 week fantasy football on DraftKings, he can be the difference. So trust your gut. Trust your numbers. Trust your Uncle Vito if you want. But know this, that sleeper is out there. The question is, who's going to play him? This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
To create your account, click on the banner link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the Doug Stewart Show app. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music. Watch your videos and view all your social networks in one